Welcome, friends. My name is Rebel Thunder, and I'm about to invade your house with another epic gameplay. We're continuing our gameplay of Resident Evil 2, the remake. So stick around because we just made an herbicide. We have to put it in the dispenser machine of machines, and we're on our way to pretty much collect the wristband to make it our way to the final boss battle. Even though, don't mind me, I'm kind of excited because I love boss battles. However, this is pretty much, wait, we still gotta get by, even though there's a liquor somewhere in the house. Oh god, we're on caution. Why are we on caution? That's not good. And apparently we just dodged past the liquor. I thought he was gonna be out there like he always is, but thank god for us he wasn't. It's a win in my book. Won't even try to argue. That's amazing. And I hear some squealy, squawny music of musicness. Kind of unsettling. Is there some kind of evil boosh bag around here? I said boosh with a B. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Oh wait, let me finally, why am I running around? I got something to do and I'm not even doing it. Yeah. That's what I call awesome. Yes, that's what we gotta get. Hang on though, I feel like we're gonna need something. Are we missing something? Well, these plant zombies... Apparently that dude is no longer upstairs. So that must mean he's out on the prowl somewhere. And I know we're about to come across Mr. X. So, let's make sure we don't have any evil... He's a sneaky dude. Look, even his tentacles aren't waving around. They're stuck. But he's got some kind of bulbous, moving bulbs on his body. We're about to torch him up. Yeah. Apparently plants don't like to be set on fire. Well, that's better for us. We don't have to worry about this dude. Plant dude. Let's just light that bad boy up like the 4th of July. I know people are gonna say, dude, come on. You're kind of cheating a little bit. You got all that flamethrower fuel, and you're just dousing him just slightly. Well, yeah, I know, but also the flamethrower fuel is like our secondary... Well, no. Well, yeah, the Magnum is like the first. The flamethrower is like the secondary, because there's light, there's the handgun, there's mid, there's the shotgun, and then there's full blast. And we got other priorities to pretty much light on fire. And you all know what I'm talking about. So with those words of awesomeness, let's save our flamethrower. And because, well, I don't know what point I was trying to get to. I'm trying to not get bitten, even though there's no zombies. However, let's see. We gotta run now, pretty much. Yeah, no, the flamethrower does a number on mutated Birkin number 3. So we got to... And apparently he doesn't follow us out here. Oh, wait, damn, wait. There's, a note we gotta read. Can't forget to read it. Goes a little something like this. Byron Cartwright's inbox. Sender, William Birkin. Subject, high priority, increased security. When did Ness become a nest for spies? 3 last month, and another 4 this month. Are those just the ones we caught? Step up security, Cartwright, or do you want to end up like your predecessor? Also, I'll be restricting access to the west area from today. Ignore all requests from headquarters for information on G. Those suits contribute nothing to this project anyway. Sender, no reply, auto-generated mail. Subject, unauthorized access detected. Herbicide dispersal by unauthorized employee detected in the West area. Oh my god, dude, my brain is scrambling these words up. 451. Wayne Lee. Wait, what? Was that just us who tried to put that dispersal cartridge? Or was that Wayne? Did he try to put one in before us? Okay, so this is actually an interesting conundrum. Did somebody try to kill this plant before we did? Because frankly, if you... Oh my god, dude, what? Look at this. That's awesome. Is he gonna come in through the door? Oh no. He's totally gonna come in through the door. What was that? Apparently he doesn't follow us. He's never, ever followed me out here. But I never even had the idea to go look in here to see if he was still around. Does that mean he's gonna come out? Am I gonna hear boss music? Yes! I've waited. Oh my god, dude, get out of here. I've waited in here before, seeing if he comes out. You can wait an hour. He doesn't come out. Until you look at him. He doesn't take kindly to that. However, let me see. I'm not trying to fool around. I'm not wasting anybody's time. It's just, this is an experiment. This is so cool. Does he come out this way? I'm not going to try to find out, because I don't want to risk taking a knuckle sandwich. However, the question I guess I was asking, ladies and gentlemen, is that, did someone disperse the herbicide even before I did? And so, that didn't kill the plant. If the plant is probably so strong, then again, it was probably a weaker variation, because I'm guessing that the plant went to hell in about either overnight or a week or so. And it was probably like a more infantile form of plant, and then somehow it just survived the herbicide. And you're willing to bet that's got to be a pretty strong herbicide if it's supposed to take out zombies. Or not zombies, plants. Mutated evil monster plants. Oh, hang on a second. Gotta measure out our ammunition. Let's take this bad boy. I love that. That's a full-ass shotgun if you ever saw one before. Yeah, baby. That looks like... I don't know what a Remington looks like, but that's straight up a Remington. It's got just the wooden handle, the steel. It's a beaut, if you ask me. That's like the most official shotgun I've ever seen. Okay. Let me see. What is it called, actually? W870. It might be Winchester 870. I don't know how I know, but I think the Winchester 870 is supposed to be like the police version. But then again, this is like just your pretty much your most standard shotgun that ever existed. But what was I saying? Yeah. Don't come out that way. No, 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 no. Oh my god, dude. Wait. Yeah. We didn't even shoot him in the head. He's being kind, polite. Thank God we didn't forget the, But this time it's not Murph, it's Muff. Let me fine-tune that. Because I know we're about to get an item pouch, and yeah, baby. Give me that item pouch. Don't dally on that sort of thing. Wow, it's making all sorts of alien noises. What am I doing? Okay. I don't know what I was trying to do for a second. My button fingers were just buttoning away. And now we got it. And I can see particles up in here. I hope it's not Plant 43. Wayne Lee's note. Let's see. Dear God, blood everywhere. What the hell is happening? They're dead. All dead. It was those men in black. USS Headquarters Special Forces. But why? Isn't their job to protect us? White brains in a sea of red. This can't be happening. Dear God, why? Didn't everybody say I was a genius? A genius like me can't die in a place like this. I always got results. They're screwing me. Well, maybe I'll screw them. I'll win the Nobel. I'm a hero. A genius. A god. I will not die. I will. And then it pretty much cuts off there. I would like to know what his last words were. Pretty much, this guy. He's definitely got to be a prodigy. You could tell he's got a lot of pride. He's probably kind of a jerk too. Like, what's his name? Um, in Resident Evil 3, Dr. Bard, Nathaniel Bard. I don't know how good Nathaniel Bard was because it never describes. He's just straight up a jerk with pride. This guy at least doesn't come across as a jerk. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but let me see. I know for a fact, if you're a prodigy boy, you better hold up to your standard. However, now we got the Access 3. We're about to go in and we're about to deal with, what's his name, Birkin number 3. Because we had Birkin 1, that was the swingy arm dude. We had Birkin number 2, who was the, what's his name? I make up words so fast, it's hard to keep track of what I'm saying sometimes. He pretty much was a mutated monster where we had to bash him into the chasm of infiniteness with the big steel box. We gotta put Oz together. Let's see. I like how the wavelengths are progressively smaller. Wait. Yes! Oz! Okay, so let's put Oz inside. That's everything right there. How many more times are we actually going to get to use this? Have we forgotten anything? No, we seem to be A-okay, ladies and gentlemen. Love it! Okay, wait. Gotta put Operation Nest Record number 1. We saw number 2 already. We're about to be in it. This is one of my favorite scenes in the whole entire game. When they pretty much swap William Birkin. It's just the way it's done is so expertly made.
Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly.
You think I didn't know you were coming? This is my life's work. I'm not handing over anything.
We have our orders, Dr. Birkin. I'll ask you one more time. Hold your fire! What the fuck were you thinking? Our orders were to bring him in alive. We're in, sir. But we had a snafu. Target resisted. We had to take him out. That's correct, sir. Roger that. Just the samples, then. Let's move.
I have to be honest. That has to be among the best acting I've ever seen. Just every last detail. Just before he pulls the gun out, he starts breathing heavy. Just when he drops the case, it makes the sound of a case falling. It's not just a boom and the sound is over. That's incredible. That's why that's one of my favorite cutscenes. That's just... I wish they would have made so much more game, though. This was truly something special. But it's like they cut the game in half and they said that's a wrap. No, sir. You must make the game fully. However, let's see. William Birkin's inbox. Sender, Jane Doyle. Subject, suspending research on G. The Umbrella Corporation has decided to cease all research on G, which was ongoing in the Nest underground laboratory. All funding for this project has been cut, and the laboratory director, William Birkin, has been removed from his post. Sender, BE. Subject, none. Thanks for your mail, Dr. Birkin. Top Brass has expressed an interest in involving this bioweapon you mentioned. Do not worry about the costs. Our company is the most well-funded in the whole of United States. Sender, Richard Kessler. Subject, congratulations. I heard the good news. G is almost ready. Strange you never thought to report it to the research lab here at Umbrella HQ. But I suppose I can let that slide. Anyway, send over the data, would you? And don't worry, You've done good work on G. We can take care of the rest. Oh my god, dude. So this is about when the straw breaks, or how does it go, the saying? Something that I can't quite remember. But wait, there's more! Sender, Jane Doyle. Subject, notice of admonishment. You are under suspicion of breaching your contract with the Umbrella Corporation. It has become clear that you have claimed ownership of the G project and have been in unauthorized contact with the U.S. military. Yeah, this is pretty much when the West Side became the East. Don't ask me, I don't know. I just know that there's got to be some way to describe that in old-fashioned terms. But this is pretty much when, I guess the hit the shan, for lack of a better word. Y'all know what I'm trying to say with that curse word. I don't like to swear. However, it was the final counting up moments. This is when William Birkin, for some reason, was removed from his post. So he was pretty much a child prodigy, and he was the one behind G. I mean, this guy's a genius. Considering what he put together, and then considering that the Umbrella Corporation, it wasn't double crossing, but when there's that much money invested into a project, and when things happen to be delayed, but then again, people aren't perfect. I mean, Albert Einstein, they say that he didn't learn to speak until he was like 6 or 7, and somehow he created, he was part of the Manhattan Project. And William Birkin is kind of a similar ordeal. And for some reason, the U.S. military, or the Umbrella Research HQ, whatever they're called, wanted to say, hey, now hand it to us, pretty much. Well, I'm kind of spinning myself in a loop. My brain is all over the place. It's scattered. I might be a zombie. Let's read another note. Research diary. Embryo growth observations. Subject 449. After the G embryo was implanted in the subject, we made a 50-centimeter incision from the chest to the abdomen and began our observations. With the help of the medical team, the subject's consciousness level was kept between 15, lucid, GCS 10. However, the subject's consciousness level deteriorated and... excuse me. Sorry. The subject's consciousness level deteriorated, and further observation was deemed unnecessary. The subject was then disposed of. Oh my god, dude. My mouth is dry. My brain is loop-de-loopy crazy. Breeding rate observation. Subject 501. The G virus was administered to subject 501. 501 mutated into G form and was introduced to a group of 30 test subjects. After 2 hours 36 minutes, it was observed that all but one of the test subjects had been implanted with an embryo. All subjects were disposed of. One subject broke down during the experimentation, took their own life. T-virus resistant experimentation. Subjects 628, 639. We administered the G-virus subject to 628, who had shown slight resistance to the T-virus. The virus was then introduced to subject 639, with whom 628 had a close relationship. 628 showed some signs of resistance, but had been implanted with an embryo after 24 minutes. T-virus resistance does nothing to stop the mental deterioration caused by the G-virus. Okay, so wait a second. I read a whole bunch of stuff, yet I'm still in space. Had no idea what the hell I just read. Maybe you can figure out a little bit something of what I just read. Swear, my brain is in outer space. However, here, this is something I can marvel at. We get pretty much just like a minuscule eyeball of a G-virus. And this is an official eyeball. 2 of them. I wonder what these actually are. Are these specimens so that they could take like a swab sample, slice the skin off a little bit, and already they have the DNA. However, all they would really need is this. They would just need a tissue sample. Or maybe these are like different chromosomes that cause different effects. Maybe this is like a gland that releases hormones. Maybe this is something that eventually will lead to claws in the hand. Maybe this is eyeballs. To me, the eyeballs would seem like a deficiency. But then again, because is a G-virus actually living? Or is it just reanimated like a zombie? would those massive eyeballs even feel if they get shot? Hence, how the eyeballs have so much strength in them, pretty much. But in essence, they are an organ. And living, dead, or reanimated, they probably still serve the same vital function of being able to create. Because then again, this is a mutant, hang on a second, that's able to think in a way, or at least I think so. It chases Leon to the very end. To me, it seems like it's somewhat sentient. So with those words being said, it would definitely need eyeballs to pretty much match its ability to process. If in any at all, I still don't know. It's all a theory. And somehow, being that eyeballs aren't weapons, claws are. You got claws, that pretty much makes the weapon. And you might have some kind of hormone release agent, or not agent, organ. So pretty much you have vision, you have weapon, you have aggressivity. That's the key components to making a monster. So
That was easy. All right.
now we got the sample. Gotta get back to Ada. First we gotta save though, cause before I even think about saving, let me trick out my inventory for the next round over. We don't quite need the Matilda, because we already, you know, the best way of doing things is just put everything away and just see what you have, what you don't have, and what you need. Because then again, this organizer, we're definitely going to need the shotgun, going to need the lightning hawk, going to need the flamethrower. Ladies and gentlemen, don't ever leave the flamethrower behind. She is your best friend. Gonna pull out the mag ammo, gonna pull out the shotgun shells. This is gonna be a bonanza. Pull out the flame rounds. First aid spray. Yeah, we're gonna need first aid spray. You best bet on that. Let's smash the green herb, red herb, and blue herb. So that we can... gotta get our hands on that. We're probably gonna have to mix. Let's measure out everything right now. Actually... let's see. Pretty much let's pull everything out. Shotgun is never a bad idea. So, wait a second. What should I do with these last ones? I have, appears to be an odd number. What shall I make? I'm not gonna mix these. Well, let's just do this. Because I love that, boys. I'm talking. That's awesome right there. So we pretty much have firepower, fuel. Let's reload this to make as much space as we can. We might go ahead and pick up some more, but there's only so much more else we could take. We gotta bring the wristband along for the ride. Max out our shotgun. First aid, mixed herbs. We pretty much wait. Gotta bring some grenades with us. Of course, can't forget the grenades. And I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the coolest loadout I've ever had. Do we have the wristband? We're gonna need the wristband. Gonna need the herbs. Take 3 of them, because you never know. Got grenades. We don't need, here we go, senior staff. We got space for one more thing. What should we bring? One more healing item, because you can never go wrong. However, what I want to say now is, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having watched this video. I hope you found it awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.